At the edge of night, when the world settles into a gentle hush and screens dim into amber glow, let's wander into a quieter history. A story woven through circuitry and code, through dusty labs and humming servers, through brave minds who stepped forward even when the lights weren't shining on them. This is the drifting tale of African Americans in technology, a slow river of voices and inventions that shaped the digital world piece by piece. Let your breath ease, let your thoughts loosen, and settle with me into this calm, unfolding journey. We begin far earlier than most imagine, back when the idea of technology meant gears and slide rules, long before browsers and bandwidth. In the first soft chapter of this story, we drift into the world of early black innovators. There is Benjamin Banneker, born in the 1700s, a man whose mind worked like a clock he once built from wood. He charted stars, kept time with the sky, and sent his almanacs across a nation still learning its own shape. His calculations held a quiet precision, like a soft metronome guiding early American science. A century later, there was Granville Woods, an inventor whose ideas breathed life into telegraphs, trains, and electrical systems. Some called him the Black Edison, though his work stood distinct, shimmering in its own quiet brilliance. His patents sharpened the edges of the industrial age, creating safer railways where the country's lifeblood pulsed through its steel veins. As you drift deeper into the story, the decades pass gently, like turning pages in a book of dusk. Technology grows, machines multiply. The 20th century arrives with a sigh of electricity and early computers the size of rooms. Inside one of those rooms, in the calm hum of the 1940s, stands a mathematician named Dorothy Vaughan. She works at NACA, the early NASA, guiding aeronautical research with numbers that glide like wind over wings. Alongside her are women whose work will one day be whispered in films and textbooks, but in their own time they are simply quiet engines of precision. Katherine Johnson, whose orbital calculations curve like lunar arcs. Mary Jackson, who disentangles the puzzles of airflows and pressure. Christine Darden, who explores the sound-breaking mysteries of supersonic flight. Each woman's mind is a world of vectors and velocity, shaping the future of flight while the world sleeps unaware. The room hums, papers shuffle, the future unfurls. As the narrative softens and the years drift like drifting constellations, we follow the trail of technology into the age of computing. In the 1960s and 70s, the glow of mainframes spreads across universities and corporations, and African American pioneers begin stepping forward into new domains of circuitry. There is Clarence "Skip" Ellis, the first African American to earn a PhD in computer science. His work with group editing and distributed computing will someday echo through cloud collaboration tools used by millions. Yet in the moment, it is just a quiet breakthrough, a glowing ember in an age of punch cards and terminals. There is Dr. Mark Dean, whose engineering mind helps create the architecture behind the IBM personal computer. He carries patent after patent, each one a stepping stone into the modern era. Without his vision, the everyday hum of desktops and laptops would sound different. The rhythm of computing would feel offbeat. As we sink deeper into this gentle night journey, we approach the rise of software, silicon, and the digital dawn of the late 20th century. The story widens. The dot-com era flickers alive like a neon sunrise. Websites appear like constellations. And quietly, steadily, African American creatives, engineers, and entrepreneurs begin weaving new shapes into cyberspace. Lisa Gelopter emerges, developing the foundation for the technology that will one day power animated GIFs and online video. Her work becomes a hidden current pushing the internet into full motion. Millions enjoy the result without ever hearing her name, yet her impact is immense, rippling through browsers and streaming platforms across decades. Lonnie Johnson appears in the storyline too, an inventor with a childlike curiosity and an engineer's discipline. He works on spacecraft systems, thermostats, and battery technologies, but one of his most iconic ideas becomes the Super Soaker, a device that brings joy to millions of children and adults. Though people remember the toy, far fewer realize that profits from it helped fund advanced energy research still influencing tech today. The tale drifts onward. We ease into the 21st century, where apps bloom like night-opening flowers and innovation grows from every corner. African-American technologists begin rising in new spaces, shaping platforms, communities, and entire companies. There is Kimberly Bryant, who creates Black Girls Code, a sanctuary where young minds can learn programming without feeling like guests in the tech world. Her work is a lighthouse for the next generation, a soft but steady beam encouraging thousands to step into the world of software with confidence. There is Tristan Walker, whose company Walker & Company crafts products born from lived experience and tech-infused design thinking. His path leads to a major acquisition, carving out a new example of Black entrepreneurship in Silicon Valley. There is Dr. Ayanna Howard, a roboticist whose imagination dances with mechanical limbs and artificial intelligence. Her work ripples across NASA missions and ethical algorithms. She teaches, she invents, and she lights up classrooms and conferences with soft-spoken brilliance. And there are countless engineers, designers, game developers, cybersecurity experts, and startup founders, whose names may not yet be engraved in history books, but whose work hums beneath the surface of apps, networks, and devices we hold every day. The sleepy story pauses here, inviting you to breathe in and savor the idea that technology is not made by machines but by people. People who stand at keyboards and drafting tables, who scribble on napkins, who tinker in garages, who dream in code. People who fight through barriers quietly, without applause, shaping futures they might never see. Now let's follow the thread into the present moment. Today, the tech landscape is wide and shimmering. African-American innovators confront challenges that still echo from history, yet they also carve open new paths. Representation improves slowly. Opportunities widen in glimmers. From AI researchers to hardware architects, VR designers to quantum computing experts, Black creators are pushing boundaries while still holding space for those coming behind them. Names like Timnit Gebru enter the narrative, highlighting the importance of fairness in artificial intelligence. Her work sparks conversations that ripple across the globe, urging tech to pause, rethink, and grow more ethical. Developers and data scientists build new frameworks. Artists blend technology with culture in digital canvases and interactive experiences. Entrepreneurs shape apps designed for community building, financial empowerment, education, and wellness. Podcasts, online courses, and creator platforms help voices rise where barriers once stood high. As this sleepy, long story drifts toward its final soft glow, imagine the future waiting just beyond the horizon. Picture young minds learning to code on tablets, tinkering with robots, exploring VR worlds, or designing games that mirror their dreams. Picture laboratories and incubators filled with diversity and curiosity. Picture an innovation landscape where stories like the ones you've heard tonight are no longer quiet footnotes but celebrated chapters. Let your thoughts drift here, where tomorrow's engineers and inventors are just beginning to imagine themselves. Perhaps they sit in bedrooms lit by gentle LEDs. Perhaps they build their first circuits on cardboard. Perhaps they learn logic through playful apps, or spark ideas watching videos created to help them sleep and dream. The current is flowing forward, and African Americans in technology continue to guide part of that current, shaping tomorrow with a steady hand, a curious mind, and a legacy of resilience. As the time closes, the story sinks into a warm hush. The room settles. The hum of history fades like a soft lullaby beneath your thoughts. May your breathing slow. May the narrative linger like a quiet starlit memory. May you find rest knowing that the digital world, like all worlds, has been shaped by many hands, many hearts, and many bright minds whose stories deserve to drift gently into the night. Rest now, or let your mind wander through the wondrous circuitry of what humans create when they dare to imagine. The story dims, the night deepens, and our tale of African Americans in technology settles into peaceful silence. Thank you for drifting through this gentle hour of history and imagination. May the stories of these innovators settle softly in your thoughts as you move into rest or deep focus. If this calm narrative helped you relax, I invite you to subscribe so you can return for more bedtime technology stories whenever you need a quiet moment. Wishing you peace, clarity, and a restful night. Good night.